Good morning, everyone. This is Group 3, Blessed Daniela, here to present the weight of family responsibilities, exploring the perceived effects of being the eldest child on grades 10 to 12 learners, or million learners, self-image. I'm Claudine Jimeno, here with Tristan Sapitanan, Miguel Hofelenia, Marian de los Santos, and finally, Kim Lagundi for the background of the study.
Firstborns are often deemed the children with bigger responsibilities and pressures, as they are known to be the most reliable ones. In addition to that, Smith notes that they have this ingrained or established sense of responsibility. Like here in the Philippines, most eldest children become the breadwinners of their families, and that is according to Francisco in 2022. Now, with these stereotypes and generalized traits of firstborns, there is a lack of specificity in the duties, responsibilities, and pressures that they experience, and how these affect the way they perceive themselves. And given that this research is situated in a high school setting, the perceived effects of being the eldest child on the self-image, in the context of adolescence, a critical stage for identity crisis and maturation, are not fully addressed. Rahayo and others have also noted that it is in the educational or school environment where social and academic factors converge, aiding in the formation of their values and behavior.
So for the purpose of our study, we aim to identify the duties and obligations of the eldest child and how these things can affect them emotionally and mentally, and how these things can take a toll on their self-image or self-perception. Now, we would like to also touch on the standards, expectations, and societal norms that things can influence in their behavioral processes. Now, lastly, we would like to touch on the coping mechanisms in the context of family settings, studies, and other circumstances in given situations.
For the research questions, we have three that we aim to answer. And number one is identifying the significant family responsibilities that the eldest child has to face. And two is to understand how these will shape the self-image. And finally, and ultimately, how understand and know how the eldest child perceives their worth and identity as a result of these responsibilities. For the skeleton of methods, since the study is a qualitative research design, we will be utilizing a series of surveys conducted on grades 10 to 12 and face-to-face interviews, recorded and consensual.
For the significance of the study, the study will be significant for the eldest children since they are the main topic, and we want to discover a deeper understanding of what happens inside their lives. For the parents, we aim to raise awareness about the issues that they face every day and in their environment. For the younger siblings, being with the eldest child can be very difficult due to the expectations from your parents and the responsibilities and taking accountability for your actions. For the teachers, we want to give the teachers deeper insight of what eldest children face every day. We want them to give them methods to help them in their course. Medical professionals so that they can have more knowledge about the eldest child's mindset and how they can give them coping methods so that they can be well, they can be taken care of.
This study focus on the perceived effects of being the eldest child on self-image, and will be limited to the grade 10 to 12, ages 15 to 19 years old. And Matrika School Incorporation batch 2024 to 2025. And it will not include students from other schools. It will focus on the experiences of firstborns excluding other birth orders. Additionally, the study will not include other broader family dynamics unless it directly affects the firstborn.
Thank you for listening, and we are open to any suggestions or questions.
Let's proceed to the question and answer portion on the list. Anyone would like to ask clarifications?
Can you go back to the first slide, please? First things first, I'd like to commend the group for presenting your work and the title difference at this period water. Okay? Now, can you define the term self-image based on your study?
Self-image is how they perceive themselves. It could be how they
In terms of what?
How they perceive themselves, like
Specifically in what aspect?
intellectually, in their skills and their capabilities and their self-worth, how they see themselves as how they look or how just general and their personality, how they understand their personality, how they understand what they're able to be. That's self-image.
Basically, their self-identity and their self-worth.
Okay, with that being said, how will you consider it or how will you measure self-image?
We are planning to use scales such as the Rosenberg self-esteem scales and also other scales to measure like the pressure levels and the perceived effects of these responsibilities.
Okay. Next question. Why did you choose to focus specifically on eldest children?
As we've mentioned, we have found RRLs that explain how eldest children often have more responsibilities inside their homes, as parents consider them as their helping hands.
There are no further questions at this point, sir.
Another candidates, you're not your literature.
Okay, so I would just like to get an overall perspective. Now, is the burden of weight and responsibilities on an eldest child negative?
We want to understand which ones are negative and which ones are positive. That's why we're exploring the perceived effects. We want to specify the responsibilities and how they will influence and impact the self-image.
Okay, alright. And another thing, no? I think I just have an issue with your title, the way it's phrased. No? Exploring the perceived effects of being the eldest child. I think it would be better if you will rephrase your title in such a way like this. No? Kasi I already scanned your research beforehand.
Can we
Yes.
take note of it? Can we take note of it?
Alright, no problem. Exploring the perceived effects of the weight of responsibilities. No? Instead of being the eldest child. Kasi, the way you said it, no? Exploring the perceived effects of being the eldest child, you say as if being the eldest child is a choice. No? Parang ganito lang yan. Exploring the perceived effects of being the president of the class group. No? So you're not focusing on the effects of being the eldest child. No? Hindi kayo nag-focus dun sa pagiging eldest child nila. Kundi yung epekto sa kanila ng mga bagay na sinasabi nyo, the responsibilities, the duties, sa kanila bilang eldest child. Okay? So much better if you will rephrase your title in such a way like this. Exploring the perceived effects of the weight of responsibilities on the eldest child. No? Kasi you're not focusing on the effects of these on the eldest child. You're not focusing on why they are the eldest child, no? And why do these effects impact them. You're focusing on how these perceived duties and responsibilities are affecting them as an eldest child. Nakuha niyo yung point ko? Okay.
Thank you.
And also another thing if I would like to add, no? Kasi I saw here, I think you mistaken the term oldest children with eldest children. No? You do not use oldest children in this context. You use eldest children because you're talking about siblings, di ba? Birth order. No? You don't say panganay in Filipino, panganay, pinakamatanda. Di ba? Pinakamatanda sa magkakapatid. In English, if you're going to translate that, you don't refer to the oldest among the siblings as the oldest child. No, you refer to them as the eldest child. Alright? Ayun. Thank you.
Tertiary.
Wala kang stat dito. Wala kang ano.
Wala.
Quantitative.
Quantitative.
Hindi sila pinakaupo. Okay, good
One
morning.
differential.
the study is not really clear to me. In simple explanation, what is your real objective of your study?
We wanted to differentiate perceptions from realities. We want to compare how they perceive their roles and its actual effects on their self-image.
So you wanted to know or to understand the effects of the responsibilities of the eldest child to their self-image.
Yes.
That is what
Yes.
you wanted to know. Self-image, we could not measure it directly because there are different factors that you need to, or there are different factors involved in the self-image. Like you mentioned into your objectives, one of them is the self-worth. Self-worth is under the self-image. It is included in the self-image. Self-image is all about how you perceive yourself in general and how other people see you. That is the self-image. So if people see you you have a low self-confidence, that is the part of your self-image. Because self-image is very broad. So there is no such instrument that you could measure the entire self-image. Perhaps you need to break down the components of the self-image. For example, you wanted to focus only into the self-value or self-worth, self-esteem. So those are the factors of the self-image. So what I wanted to ask is, what is your focus about your self-image? Kasi very broad po si self-image. So you need to choose one or two factors involved in self-image para to lessen the things that you to handle or to discuss about your research, that the scope to put into focus. That is I wanted you to know. So by this time, based on your question, you mentioned the self-worth. It could be one of the self-worth or the self-value. The identity is could not be used as part of the self-image. Maybe the self-worth, the self-confidence could be the self-esteem or the self-worth. Kasi self-worth is under the self-esteem. Self-esteem is how you like and appreciate yourself. Included yung worth or yung value, the self-value. Kasi that is the problem of the self-image, that the entire person, tapos you break down into those factors. So what I wanted to suggest is to choose specific part ng self-image, yung focus na lang, para hindi mo siya broad your study. And then, kasi ang sabi nyo dito, perceived effects. Ang effects, it's a good or bad. So, do you have a stand on your study that you need to look into what effect, or you let the study reveal the two kinds of effects? Or you have the decision, you only wanted to look for the good or the bad effects?
Perhaps both the positive and negative.
The positive and the negative. So, do you have a advanced reading regarding with the effects of kasi medyo tong weight. So, pag sinabing weight, negative na kagad. So, sir, what is your idea about it? Kasi kaya I asked, what is your stand? Do you only look into the good effects or the bad? Because the title is the weight of the family. So, parang if you look into negative kagad,
Parang
burden,
burden.
di ba? Kaya sabi ko, ano yung inaano nila? Kasi kailangan ma-emphasize alin dapat doon. And then, I don't know kung sa purpose ng study ko siya nakita kanina or narinig, challenges. The challenges, pakibalik na ako sa purpose of the study.
Challenges and coping mechanisms.
you mentioned the word challenges, or parang ano sa akin na coping mechanism?
Oh, maybe.
I found this RQ.
The
Yes,
coping
RQ,
mechanism.
the very first RQ, yung hindi
Oo.
po namin na-revise.
The coping mechanism can only be used if that is a part of your purpose. You're dealing with the negative effects of the responsibility, family responsibilities. Why? Because coping mechanism only used if the person facing challenges, trials, stress, different stressors, those things. So, parang sa purpose of the study, you have more on focus into the negative effects. Kasi counter generalizations, identify specific duties and responsibilities, pressures, negative na naman yan ang impact niyan. So, yun lang, parang hindi pa siya masyadong na focus. So, I suggest refocus. Ano ba yung gusto na lang natin para to lessen the burden to all of you to read a lot, to search a lot, tapos sabog-sabog naman yung pag-present natin. So, at least you have the focus, one or two. Okay? So, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And take note.
Sir
Sir
Nigel.
Nigel, check out.
In addition to what teacher Shirley said, so much better if you are going to change the term self-image in your life. No?
To specify.
And just as teacher Shirley mentioned as well, no? Just focus on some factors or some aspects of self-image. No? Kasi come to think of it, you really cannot measure self-image. No? But you can observe the specific aspects of it. Halimbawa, panganay ka, no? Tapos ever since growing up, you've always been groomed by your parent to have this mindset na kapag nakatapos ka, ikaw yung magpapaaral sa mga kapatid mo. Diba? So, most probably, that will have an effect on how you perceive your work. Diba? Ano ba talaga ako? Am I only an investment by my parents? No? Am I someone who should carry on the responsibilities? No? So just focus on those specific aspects. Okay? And another thing, no? Kasi I was reading, I think this was the unedited version yet. Ito ba yun, sir? Alright. I read here that your responsibilities, your scope and delimitations would only be limited to the eldest in the family with 3 or more siblings.
We have clarified that.
Tama ba? Can you clarify again?
We chose them to have 3 or more siblings because here these responsibilities are more amplified when they have more siblings, which will make our research more potent in terms of what we're looking for and trying to understand.
Okay, sige. What is the difference other than that, no? Other than what you were saying, that these responsibilities are more amplified, no? Which means that it's greater if there are more siblings, no? So what's your basis for that? What is the difference between eldest children with only one sibling, and on the other hand, eldest children with 3 or more siblings? So what is your related literature for that?
One sibling is less. Do you have?
Oh, I think I've read from Adler's work or review. Eldest children with like larger family numbers, they tend to receive more responsibilities than ever. That's what I read. I haven't read like the full context.
Okay, but kasi parents are parents, no? For parents, be that parents of 2 children, be that parents of 3 or more children, most probably they will always have the same perception on their eldest child to carry on the flame, as they say, no? So I think it would be much better if you're going to retake this, no? Kasi I asked you earlier, no? What is your RRM? No? What is your literature? What literature did you base this on? On about the 3 or more siblings only? No? Why is it not 2? Why should it be 3 or more? So about that literature that we spoke of, no? Read it again, analyze it again, and see if it will apply only to 3 or more siblings, or see if it can only, if it also can apply to just 2 siblings. Kasi, well, to be honest, there are Filipino families who have only 2 children in their families, right? There are Filipino families who does not have 3 or more children, no? Or who only has 2 children in their families. Kasi that's the standard here in our country usually, di ba? In middle class, di ba? Middle class families. So I think you should rethink that kasi baka kayo rin mahirapan, di ba? Kung yun lang yung standard nyo, kung 3 or more lang yung standard nyo.
As far as I know, when we discussed about this one yesterday, we have changed it into like a specific age bracket. So we removed that part, or like preferring eldest children with more siblings.
With more siblings.
Yeah, no, we've deleted that part.
Even if they are only 2 siblings in the family. Okay, that's good to know. Basta, that's just my tip, no? Rethink, no? If that, kasi that's what I initially read. And what I think about that is, you should really rethink that. So, now that I know that you already reconsidered it, that's good.
Okay, sir, the eldest is the panganay. You're dealing with the panganay, not the only child. So you need to remove that from your presentation. Kasi dun may na-mention na meron kayong only child, di ba? So, the panganay na lang, the eldest. Yun yung concern ni sir kanina, yung hindi ko lang siya na-note, is yun nga, katulad ako, anak ko 2, sa panganay, paano ko ang age nila ay magkasunod? Sa akin, okay lang, kasi 5 years ang kanilang pagitan. So, one factor din yun na you need to look into. Kasi kung magkasunod lang silang age, wala masyado yung weight ng difference.
Magiging share.
Pero sa akin kasi 5 years ang difference, malaki yun. Kasi my ate should take care of my youngest son kapag wala ako, I'm not around. Pero kung magkasunod lang sila, if ever ako may kaibigan ako gano'n, hindi niyo pwede masabihan kasi pareho sila ng age, pareho sila ng way of thinking. So, other people would go into their house to take care of the children. So, you need to specify. So, do you have that set of differences of years ng kanilang age? So, you need to consider that. And by the way, the quantitative should be, what would be your quantitative? What is your plan?
From what I mentioned earlier, we're going to use scales to measure the pressure levels, and we're going to be using the Rosenberg's self-esteem scale as well. And we're also planning to collect numerical data, such as what you've mentioned, the family size and the sibling counts.
So, those are the for the quantitative. You gather from the qualitative, what are the common gaps, eight gaps of these eldest to their younger siblings. So that is a part of the result, and then you will be used for your quantitative, and then you compare the weights. So pwede na yung pumasok the weight, the weight dun sa quantitative, but by this time hindi pwede kasi wala pa kayong deciding points. Okay.
Thank you.
So further questions, and take note of the comments and continue revising the paper. The decision is to be announced. Okay? Dave, pakita ko lang. Next group.